Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach, and today we're going to be looking at the OMI price, and we're going to be looking at the VeVe marketplace and potential Disney stuff coming up at some point in the future. Thankfully, someone very eagle-eyed in the community has found something, and I want to go over all the potential possibilities regarding that. Before we go into that though, let's look at the OMI price real quick. Nothing has really changed too much, of course, but of course we did just see the Samoan Legno Tokidoki Dragon Girl NFT come out, sold out within minutes. Very successful launch, I think, from a VeVe point of view. I think some people were obviously upset that they didn't get into being able to actually buy it because it sold out so fast, but of course that's what it is. And unfortunately we haven't seen a huge price difference, but I'm not actually surprised. Right now we're on a price of 0.003909, and we're at a low at 0.003904 and a high of 0.00450 over the past 24 hours. And of course, well, it just looks like this. But again, that's generally, I think, because a number of reasons. Obviously, just in general, we've been going through quite the correction, to say the very least. This time last week, we were at 0.009, and now we're at 0.003-ish. But of course, patience is key, and that's what we're all about here on this channel. That being said, I found a really interesting video from a Crypto Maniac. Really good channel, definitely worth checking out. Of course, the link will be in the description below. And they found this right here. Now, I wanted to give my own preview of what this looks like. Obviously, they've used a PowerPoint here. I actually use After Effects for what I do. Now, what they've noticed is that in this marketing image right here, of course, we have browse, drops, brands, new, and then we had DC collectibles, and of course then we have the other collectibles in the Powerpuff IP, I would assume. Now right here, of course, and this is amazing that they even noticed this, literally I would say a few, maybe 15, 16, 20 pixels, something along those lines. It's literally showing some sort of shiny thing here. What is this line right here? Most people just think, oh, it's one of those normal NFTs that we already have on the marketplace, or at least it's coming up soon or whatever. That being said, what they have noticed is something I've also managed to match now in my After Effects thing. If you open this up a little bit, in fact, before we do that, let's just do this so we can actually mark it, sorry, closely. So we can see here that there's an E and there's what looks like an R maybe, or an A, it's difficult to tell. So if we just literally line this up the way it is, perfectly, almost pretty much lined up. I think the scale might be a bit off, but that's fine. Regardless, if we actually extend this out a little bit, we'll see. What's that? That's a wheel. That's a wheel. It's a car front. And then if we move this over a little bit and we extend the left side, it's Lightning McQueen, of course, from the Cars franchise, Rusty's. So obviously we have Piston Cup, we have all the stickers that are on Lightning McQueen. Honestly, Crypto Maniac, such a good find. GG's to you, like seriously well done. That is such a good find, and it really excited me because of course we have been already speaking about Disney, Marvel, etc. right? As far as the licenses are concerned, we've already looked as well at the top 150 global licenses of 2020, obviously last year. And if we have a look at it, it's number one is Walt Disney, and then we have Meredith, we have Authentic Brands, Warner Media, which we already have Universal, I believe, we already have Hasbro, I believe, we already have Viacom CBS. I can't remember if we have General Motors. I think we do have General Motors, but I can't quite remember. Regardless, though, we have looked at the fact that realistically VeVe has taken on some of the biggest brands in the world, as we can see right here. We have Warner Bros, we have Star Trek, obviously, we have Capcom, we have DC Collectibles, which of course definitely ties in with the whole DC Universe Marvel sort of clash going on there, if you like. Now, if we have a look, I was obviously, basically, personally, as I am new to this, I'm also learning a lot of this. So some of you already know what I'm talking about, some of you won't. Please be patient if you already know what I'm talking about, because I'm trying to explain this to people who were in my position not only 2 weeks ago trying to figure things out. So looking at the VeVe official US patent application confirms Disney Marvel rumors. Of course, this is what this image looks like. Now, I was trying to figure out where did this image actually come from. Now, if we go over to the United States Patent and Trademark Office, of course, we have a few different things here in the documents. I think if you click on the actual link, you go to status, but then, yeah, here's the documents. And then we have all these different documents right here. Now, I was looking to try and find whether or not we could find this image right here through this. And if we go through it, we find PDF, XML, all these different ones. But then we have two, and I know this as someone who does video editing and graphic design for well, I used to do it for a living, I suppose. Now I do video editing and social media, but we have here JPEG and JPEG, which of course is an image. And so of course I clicked on that, the JPEG, and this is what we find. So of course this is Avengers Endgame. We have Superman right here. And so I definitely think that it is potential that we could see, simply knowing if we go to the Walt Disney Company's 2020 annual report, financial report, I believe this is. If we look at the significant operations, of course, we have motion picture, production and distribution under the Walt Disney Picture, 20th Century Studios, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Pixar, Searchlight Pictures, and Blue Sky Studio banners. Now, if we have Marvel, likelihood is that we also have Walt Disney Pictures, and we'll have Pixar and Lucasfilm, hopefully, and all of these different things, if it is essentially just working with Disney, right? And what's even cooler is that I found, this was posted like, I don't know, a week or two ago, someone actually, Crypto Crayons, of course I'll be linking their video in the description, has actually mocked up what this would look like. Now this is not real, to be very clear. I believe that they made this, but even that is amazing. I mean, look at this AR type of thing that they have here. Again, this is fan made, I believe, but it would be really cool to see. Imagine how well this would sell. Imagine how well this would sell in and of course here we have Jurassic Park, which is already something that has been confirmed, I believe, by ECOMI, so that's really awesome. Just imagine being able to like watch these birds fly around. Now the best thing about this, of course, or maybe not the best thing, but one of the things that excites me the most about this, of course, is mainstream adoption. The potential for mainstream adoption of this is crazy, and I'm thinking about how could this essentially become a common thing for people to see. For one, once we have lenses that actually works with this, which I think may be a decade away, but regardless, it will be very interesting to see. That will be huge when people can literally just play with their toys through their lenses. That would be absolutely crazy. And I actually, now that I think of it, I think parents in some way would love their kids rather to play with a digital one, on the only basis that it's not like you can break these. You can't break digital collectibles. I mean, I suppose you could probably break the lens maybe, but regardless, I am trying to think about how this actually becomes a thing. How is it that this is essentially something that fans want to see? And more so as well, hopefully, how do kids want to see it? How are adults who have been brought up on Spider-Man and that sort of thing, how essentially does this go to the mainstream market? Now there's many ways, and we're going to be going over ways that VeVe can market their stuff. For one, the VeVe app actually needs to be, I think, more built up in a more solid foundation, so that once there are millions and millions and millions of people who want to actually be using these NFTs, that the VeVe app can support it. I don't believe right now that the VeVe app would be able to support that type of load. I think already it's a bit difficult with what we have with 250,000 plus users. Having said that, regarding the marketing end of things, of course, if we have a look at the Disney financial thing, we see Disney Plus is a subscription-based direct-to-consumer video streaming service with Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, and National Geographic branded programming. It offers approximately 11,700 episodes and 700 movies. Now, if we have a look at how many Disney Plus subscribers there are just in 2021 alone, for Q1 at least, we have almost 100 million subscribers. Now, we also know if we look at this financial record right here, or at least the annual report for 2020, it says the company sells Disney, Marvel, Pixar, and Lucasfilm branded products through retail stores and internet sites globally. Retail stores operate under the Disney Store name and are generally located in leading shopping malls and other retail complexes. The company owns and operates approximately 200 stores in North America, etc. So clearly, it is something that Disney are really into. It's not even surprising if we look at the shop Disney, we see just a limited number, honestly, of the Funko Pop models that we see within Disney. But all it takes is to look through on Google Images Disney Funko Pop, and you can see how many of these there really are. It would be incredible to see Disney drops like this, especially if it's being advertised on Disney Plus. This could literally see tens of millions of new users just to VeVe on this specific part, i.e. on this specific IP. Of course, I would imagine as well, of course, as VeVe licenses more and more kids IPs and just general entertainment IPs like Cartoon Network, of course we have Powerpuff Girls, and of course this was last year. I personally believe that this really does show a lot of the scope, I think, for what is possible with Disney brands. So as I'm editing this right now, I've already recorded what you're watching, so you're probably like somewhere around here most likely. But something that I watched from Gary Vee not long ago, which we've already spoken about on this channel, but again, not everyone has watched all the videos I've made before, so I want to sort of recap. It's made me think we could literally see these collectibles as Disney show or Disneyland tickets. Let Gary explain for me, because he'll be way better at it than I will.
Today, what we're focusing on so far in early NFT mainstream knowledge is collectibles and art.
Yep.
That is true. That is a part of it. Obviously, that comes very natural to me because I am a collector at heart. I am someone who's always been fascinated in intellectual property creation. However, the far bigger impact of an NFT is the technology itself. That token has an underlining smart contract potential built into it. That contract can represent anything. It can represent a deed to a home. It can represent a ticket to a conference. It can represent a VIP ticket to a concert. It can represent...
So you can see where we're going with having a ticket towards Disneyland. And I don't want to just go over exactly what Gary is saying, but essentially what he says in this video is that not only will we be able to use these NFTs for art collectibles, they can be used as tickets towards an annual event at Disneyland or at Spider-Man Con if they do that, you know, a Spider-Man event maybe in a Disneyland setting, I don't know. But not only that, then later on, those NFTs will be, of course, rare most likely, and they can be resellable. Not only can they be resellable, and this is what I was thinking about, why would Disney go with NFTs as tickets rather than just doing normal tickets or whatever? And realistically, if there's a resellable market, which there will be, we already know there is, as people resell their NFTs, i.e. their Disney tickets for, say, a Spidey Universe show or whatever it might be, and it's actually just an AR toy as well, Disney will be able to obviously put in their own royalty into the smart contract of the NFT, and they will receive 10x what they even sold the original NFT for to the original buyer. Which means, say the Spider-Man ticket is £50 or $50, well, what's stopping anyone from buying that, rebuying that Spider-Man AR toy for $5,000, and Disney takes percentage of whatever they want based on the contract? Why would Disney not choose that over a paper ticket that essentially has zero use after the person has gone to the event? It's literally a huge change in macroeconomics for all this sort of stuff. Of course, as we can see here, the pinned tweet currently on VeVe, this was tweeted about a few hours ago, I think. VeVe Season 1 has officially ended. Congrats to everyone who copped the latest NFT. Thank you to our incredible community for the support, etc. Now, I think there's a lot of hype really for VeVe Season 2. I think VeVe Season 3 and Season 4, etc. I think are going to be the real ones that really show us what the potential is, because realistically, I think right now we're looking at Marvel, we're looking at Disney, we're looking at Pokemon, as far as new licenses that we're hoping to see. Of course, we know that Jurassic Park is coming, we know that Star Trek is coming. Realistically, at this point, I think it's a case of building the app properly so that everyone don't have any issues, or too many issues at least. Obviously, marketing needs to be done correctly. We need to see influencer marketing as far as I'm concerned. That will be a huge jump for VeVe, and then over time, eventually, of course, we will likely see OMI. Honestly, it could go to 1 cent, maybe even by the end of the year. That might be very optimistic though. That all depends on what VeVe does, if they do it right, and also if ECOMI do everything right, then we could see that. And of course, I'll be covering everything, every step of the way regarding that, because I really want to see that happen. Obviously, holding. But for sure, essentially, we're just waiting on VeVe to do its thing, and that's going to be a slow process, which of course is why a lot of people have been a little bit, I think, surprised, or at least essentially lost faith really in OMI, because they haven't been researching what VeVe actually is doing, and instead they're just trying to buy in to some quick day trading scheme, it feels like. I don't know, I don't want to roast people too hard, but there you go. Let me know what your thoughts are on holding OMI. Are you still holding? Are you not impressed with ECOMI right now? I would love to hear your take. Personally, I'm excited, but that's just based on the IPs that I'm seeing, as well as just seeing ECOMI's general presence and direction for both this coin and the VeVe app marketplace. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.